Today we got to talk about an issue that's low-key spiraling its way into the Texas Chainsaw community. There's no issue, as far as I'm concerned, with the community itself, but the closer we get to this game, the more I'm seeing this thing pop up, and we just got to talk about this. Now, before I get started, if you guys like my videos, you like my streams, go ahead and subscribe up. I do variety content. I don't just do horror. I do everything, man. So if you guys really like my content, go ahead and sub up. But today I was on Reddit and I saw this post that was super eye-opening. And this guy pretty much is going over his concerns for Texas Chainsaw Massacre, not the game itself, but we're going to get into that in a second. He pretty much goes on here and he says, my main concern with the game is going to be the community. TCM is my absolute favorite horror franchise and always has been. I've been waiting years for this game, but I can't lie, I'm terribly nervous about the community. Dead by Daylight and Friday the 13th both ended up with the most toxic fan bases of any game I've ever played, and I'm a Madden fan. He's a Madden fan, and he's like, this is horrible, right? He said both of these communities are what drove me off those games. I hope this game doesn't end up having the same issues, because with how good this game looks and the detail and effort team has put into it, it could be a dream come true for Texas Chainsaw Massacre super fans like me. Now, I don't want to make this and I said this on the actual post. Shout out to this guy. I get why that's a concern, and I'm not going to make this a versus thing like Dead by Daylight versus Friday, but I've been playing Friday since 2017. And I'm not coming from a place of, oh, Friday the 13th super fan, or not super fan, Friday the 13th fanboy. I don't like Dead by Daylight. I don't like Dead by Daylight community, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to be honest. I don't play Dead by Daylight much anymore. I have nothing against people who play Dead by Daylight, but if I had to keep it a buck, if I had to keep it real, a lot of the toxicity and just like how odd things are has been from Dead by Daylight players. And it's one thing if you like Dead by Daylight, but it's like, don't use your love for that game to crap on other games. I don't want to throw out the word fanboy, but it's a lot of people who they don't want to be told wrong. They don't want to be told that a game could potentially be a competitor, that a game could potentially be better. And it's fucking weird, man. Like, I remember going on Twitter, there's more than one occasion to where I've seen people go, well, is it going to be like Dead by Daylight? Is it going to be like Dead by Daylight? Oh, this doesn't look as good as Dead by Daylight, so I'm not going to buy it. Oh, I hope they do X, Y, and Z like Dead by Daylight. And it's like, this isn't Dead by Daylight. Everybody wants this game to compete with Dead by Daylight when this game is just, can they just coexist? I'm not the first one to say this. Can they just coexist? That's all we want. There doesn't need to be, let's pin one another against each other. And the only thing I'm seeing is from Dead by Daylight fans, and not all of them, but it's the ones who actually, I don't know what the issue is. I don't know what the issue is. It's been this way for a while. It's like, think about Friday the 13th. It had a very short lifespan, right? A very short lifespan. And people still compare Dead by Daylight to Friday the 13th. Why? We didn't get to see Friday the 13th as much as we've seen Dead by Daylight, because the lifespan, it wasn't, I'm not going to get into the lawsuit thing, but you guys know what happened with Friday. Why are you comparing a game that had to pretty much cut itself short with a game that's been going on it just doesn't make sense. It's the same thing going on with Texas. Can they just coexist? Like, there's no reason why people should be this weird about it. And I'm going to go reference my comment again and read you guys what I said, because I feel like I made some valid points. I've seen people talking down on Texas, and then it's met with comparisons to Dead by Daylight. Or on more than one occasion, I've seen Dead by Daylight players call Texas Chainsaw Massacre trash because it apparently doesn't look balanced. How can you sit there and look or read something and say that it's not balanced? It's one thing to where you can obviously something isn't right, but we've seen minimal gameplay. So based off some screenshots, IGNs for hands-on preview, you can tell the game's unbalanced? How? Now, I know it's a big issue, with the Dead by Daylight community on how things are unbalanced, and there's other issues, apparently cheaters, hackers, things like that. But something I hear about often with Dead by Daylight is an issue with balancing. So for more than one Dead by Daylight player to talk about balancing and things look unbalanced within this game, it sounds like you guys are dragging your community issues over to another game. Because once again, you cannot say something is unbalanced by reading or looking at something. Balance is experience. Balance is, you know, it's hands-on. You can't, like, I've said this so many times, it's getting old. And I'm not just saying this because I cover the game on my channel. It is what it is. I always call things how I see it. That's what I've been seeing. And the last thing I'm going to touch on is pretty much this, because this was a big thing. I'm going to read this last part and I'm going to pretty much send it off to you guys. The last thing I'm going to read is, on top of that, I just hope this doesn't turn into something sweaty. Personally, I don't care if I take L's, that's gaming. But there are players who want leaderboards and all sorts of things. Everyone wants to make things comp all the time when it isn't necessary. And we all know when leaderboards come into play, people try to win at all costs, sadly. Cheating comes into play, hacking, people start getting personal and way more. I don't know what it's called. I think it's called an MMR. If they add it in the game, cool. Me personally, I don't think we need all that. I don't think we need leaderboards. I think we need to keep this as far away from comp as we can. Leaderboards will turn things all the way upside down. Why? When you introduce leaderboards, like I just said, people will win at all costs. They don't care. They just want to see their name in the lights. They want to see their name on the screen. They want to see their name in a game, and it's really fucking bad. People do whatever it takes. Literally, why are we making games like this competitive? And when I say competitive, I don't mean just a back and forth between friends. Like, I have my group that I play with on Friday. It's all love, it's all fun. If it gets too bad, I remind people this is just a game. Leave that competitiveness to games like 2K and COD. Like, this is an asymmetrical horror game, guys. I'm not saying don't try to win, but it's like when you start getting into comp play with games like this, it's just, I don't know why it's necessary. The only time I see this is when it's brought up by Dead by Daylight players. A good amount of what I've been seeing on Twitter, at least, is people trying to bring that over here. This is all this video is. I'm gonna be honest. This is all this video is just me circling back to what I've been seeing. Let's just have fun. Let's have fucking fun, guys. Like, this TCM, we're hype. This is a love letter to every Friday the 13th fan who did not get to enjoy the full lifespan of this game. Let's just let this game be what it is. It doesn't need to compete. It doesn't need to piggyback off anything. It doesn't need to do what you guys want it to do as far as what Dead by Daylight does. Sorry, I kind of butchered what I was trying to explain, but you guys stay comp on Dead by Daylight and let us have fun. We're here for the experience. We don't care about wins and like, bro, at least I don't care about, I'm here to have fun, guys. But I'm done ranting, guys, man. I appreciate you guys watching, man, and I'm gonna see y'all next time.